Sketching is a good way to capture ideas and plan their development. This method is often useful, including in the development of games. I have been working on my game Paco the Jungle Duck, a retro platformer inspired by titles like Donkey Kong Country and Mario, since December 2018. Since I started working on this game, I have repeatedly created sketches and collected them in a sketchbook. This gives me the opportunity to show you these sketches and compare them with the end result, because this makes visible how an idea can become a product and how the sum of ideas can shape a game. I divide these sketches that have accumulated into 3 categories. The first category would be the concept art, which involved the design of characters but which are not applied one-to-one in the game. This also includes examples like the character design that later end up on a poster. For example, this is a first draft of the protagonist Paco. A second draft already goes much more in the direction of a final design. A third draft adds color to this image, and in the end a digitalized draft ends up on a poster. But not only the main character needs a design, also characters like Karim the crocodile, the dog pirates, with their king, the Pirate Disco King. Both original design could not be implemented in the game because sometimes a sketch is difficult to transfer into pixel art, but you can see the similarities between both pictures. However, some designs and ideas are never implemented. For example, I once had the plan to write a comic for the prequel story of Paco. I also created the first sketches for this and even painted a first watercolor picture. However, I never managed to implement it. I call a second category aesthetic sketches, which try to emulate the aesthetics of certain design objects. This can be the case for tile sets, for example as here, where I was very much influenced by Paris for the design of a tile set. In the later game, it looks like this. But I also sketched some Inca decorative elements and incorporate them into tile sets to capture the atmosphere of South America in the game. The most common category, however, is a level design sketch. Level design often requires a layout that can be easily put on paper. The details are not as important as the fact that it shows the platforms and traps and processes in a level. This can be seen, for example, in the sketch for the demo level in my game. The sketch for the factory level symbolizes the idea of incorporating a coherent production chain into the level, from the wheel axle to the finished truck. This was also implemented in the game later. However, a sketch for the winter level was only partially implemented, and a new idea would be to rebuild the fortress into a medieval castle. A second sketch fleshed out a section of the level which I'm still working on. I created a lot of sketches for one of the last boss fights. These sketches have both an aesthetic aspect which I implemented in both Blender and as pixel graphics, but these sketches also show the level design aspect, as they show movement sequences that I implement in the game. There are 3 phases of the boss fight that you can see here. I hope you got a good impression of the working process here. and how an idea goes from paper to the finalized game. If you liked this video, I would be very thankful if you give it a thumbs up or subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope we will see again.